Hey everyone, I want to do a video today about succession planting, talk a little bit about that. I know that many people who start gardening don't practice it, and we didn't do it before either, but it's a very important and a helpful um, knowledge or thing to do when you're gardening, especially if you have small amount of space and you want to utilize the space to the maximum. So I'll show you a couple things what I'm doing, couple different methods that are possible to do with succession planting. Basically, one thing is you can succession plant the same plant, same vegetable throughout the year to have a longer harvest. Or the other option is planting two different vegetables to that ripen or produce at different time. That way your garden beds or your garden is always producing to the maximum. With it, you have to understand that you have to amend the soil also a lot, because obviously the more you plant, the more the soil uses nutrients, the more you have to amend it. So I'm gonna show you what I'm doing right now. We're doing some peas basically, and I got some sweet peas right here that we've soaked overnight. And you don't have to soak them, it's just something that I've done before. And oh, my camera is going all jiggery on me anyways. But that's something we've done just for the heck of it, I guess. It kind of will speed up the process of germination, because obviously they'll have to soak, get all nice and ready in the soil. But this is what we're going to be doing here. Let me show you the beds that we have. So these are our sweet peas right now. We have these towers that we put in a couple days ago. We got two different things going on. So we have our sweet peas that were planted roughly at the same time, these three beds, and our chickens got out of their chicken area and kind of spread some of these peas out into who knows where, or ate some of them. And obviously what happened here is there's just spots where there's nothing there. So we already planted some more, which you can see these young shoots kind of in the area. And what will happen is, as these grow and produce their biggest yields in the beginning, they're gonna slow down the production. And these plants will start producing a little bit later. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna plant another set kind of in between everywhere, in between the old and the new plants, the young and the older ones. And that will give us a harvest throughout a longer period. Basically, it'll prolong the harvest. Also what we did is we started a fourth bed a little bit later that have peas as well, with the same thing. It's gonna keep on producing during the time when these ones will stop already, basically, and we will keep on having peas. Also do the same thing with corn. Sorry, not corn, carrots. Basically, we have carrots that we've planted in our beds, or in one of the beds, and they are up and growing. They're up and growing, and they're doing okay. They're doing just fine. We kind of scatter the seeds everywhere, but you can see there's some spots that are, for some reason, didn't germinate, or birds ate them, or whatever happened, but not to worry. What we're gonna do right now is we're also going to seed another batch within the same area, or the areas that are empty. And as these mature, the new ones will start growing, thus giving us carrots for a longer period of time. So planting the same type different times, it will basically prolong your harvest. It's a kind of a tricky thing to do, because not always does it work, I guess, in a way that sometimes the seeds, like when you start disturbing the soil, you got to be careful not to disturb the soil a lot around the plants that are growing already. Same thing with the peas and so on. You want to be careful with them. But I want to show you our lettuce. We did the same thing with our lettuce. Basically, we have baby greens that are, we're harvesting them already. We're eating salads from them. And then we have a patch that we've planted a little bit later. This is the basics of succession sowing or growing vegetables, and it's something that we recommend doing because it will increase the production, especially if you're trying to utilize the space and if you're limited to the space. As I said in the beginning, we're in the city, we have an acre property where our gardens are kind of expanding still, but we are trying to utilize to the maximum what we have, rather than having soil just sit out there without being used for no reason. But the important part, if you do succession planting and if you really push on the soil to give you out maximum amount of vegetables and production, you have to remember that you have to amend the soil really heavily. So for compost, wood chips, we practice no dig method. Helping the micronutrients that are in the soil to thrive is an important factor that that will only help all the plants grow. And your plants, your vegetables are only as good and only as nutritious as the soil is. So if the soil is depleted of everything, they're not gonna grow. Thank you for watching. We appreciate everybody who's been watching us and subscribing to our channel. Subscribe, like our videos, and we'll be back.